The 2026 Infiniti QX60 autograph in deep emerald over saddle brown. This is an all-new color. We have an all-new trim underneath this called the Sport, which blackens everything out. 4 trims to choose from. Updates from the exterior, updates in the tech and interior. I'm Anthony from Supercar Throttle, and I'm going to compare this against some of the competition. The updates start off in the front with the piano-styled LED daytime runnings, LED headlights that incorporate into the new grille that's going to mimic the QX80, just in a smaller package. The front is going to look a little bit more dynamic from different angles with front parking sensors. The air pocket's a little bit smaller but taller. The lower now is a little bit more settled with 6.8 inches of clearance. The comment that comes into right off the bat is with these changes, they're nice, but they're very settled. Something that, I mean, maybe you could transform your 2025 into a 2026 and save a little bit of dough, because this is over $70,000. And they only option one powertrain, which is this VC turbocharged inline 4-cylinder that's powered with 268 horsepower, 286 pound-feet of torque paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission, achieving 22 mpgs for the city, 27 mpgs for the highway, with a combined at 24 mpgs, reaching 60. Realistically, I would say is more like 8.5 to near 10 seconds, with a top speed at 120 to 130 miles per hour. And losing the V6, we lose 27 horsepower. We gain 16 pound-feet of torque, and we're gaining 2 mpgs more for the city and more for the highway on an all-wheel drive configuration. So now when we're talking about competition, Lexus is doing the same damn thing with their smaller third-row variants, Turbo 4s. Acura, they're keeping it strong with the naturally aspirated V6. However, Infiniti is now stating that the V6 is going to come back. So now we have another question that's going to be on the table. Should you even option this? Keep these updates, wait for the V6 variant. They're also coming out with the QX60, which is a coupe style to this, which will be a 2-row. So it's going to look more sporty, but that's going to keep this engine. It's not going to have the V6. And the updates carry on to the side because they have all chrome delete. They now have an autograph badging, all the things that I personally would have wanted on my 4th Infiniti QX60, which I have a 2025 variant. 20-inch wheels is going to be standard on all trims. And what I like that Infiniti has done for 26 is with the Sport model, everything gets blacked out. They put this satin gray that's going to go around all the window trims, raised roof rails. You can fit 165 pounds on them. The lower usually would have chrome as well, but it mimics the same as the side with the glossy black side view mirror, the LED turn signal, and even here, it used to be chrome. Now it's the same color as the body with the walk away or walk up to lock and unlock the vehicle. And with the price tag over $71,000, you're starting to enter territory like BMW, Mercedes, and Audi. And Infiniti can't really compete with that because even their Sport trim, it's just aesthetics. It's not going to change anything for the powertrain, for the weight distribution, or those top speeds in 0 to 60s, because let's face it, this is just a family luxury SUV that's going to get you some savings if you don't want to go up to the big QX80, which brings another point. Infiniti has literally dropped all of their vehicles, and now we're waiting for vehicles to enter into the lineup, like the QX65, like the Q50, which will have a manual. What the hell is Infiniti doing? The rear gets LED tail lights and a transformation because we no longer have the Infiniti badging here. The print has been increased in the size and you get the glossy black. This is also a new badge. The lower is going to get the matte black, which before it will look or mimic like exhaust. Now it's a little bit more tamed. You do have dual exhaust that's exposed underneath there. The autograph comes only in an all-wheel drive configuration, as well as your front parking sensors, 360-degree reverse camera. They also gave us a little cover here so you don't scratch the bumper. A digital rear view mirror that's right here, but this should be tucked underneath there. And I know in the comments people say, well, where would you put the digital rear view mirror? You can obviously move that, so that way it would be tucked underneath this lower roof spoiler, and it gets the gloss black highlights, giving a two-tone because of the autograph. I do like the updates that we're getting, but the fact that we dropped the V6 and now they're talking about bringing it back, and there was really no point to drop it for those 2 years, especially considering I'm on my 4th Infiniti. I traded the 23 because it was a lemon for a 25 that has this engine. So sadly, I'm not very happy. That was the last year you could get the V6. And before that, it was a CVT transmission. So they just keep on hurting the QX60, comparing it against the competition? I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe and the like, because all these clicks help with the algorithm so we can bring more vehicles to the channel. 27 horsepower less, which is not a lot. 16 pound-feet of torque more, which is also not a lot. Is this better than the competition is really the main question that we're entertaining today, because the V6 variant is going to be coming out soon, which is something that we will discuss later on in the drive part of this review. The seat comfort is good. My knees are not really up in the air because these are zero gravity seats. The con to that is they don't put it in the second or third row. However, they do that with Nissan. Why the hell do they still have a V6 in the Pathfinder, but they strapped on this baby engine here? And the same thing with the zero gravity seats. The suspension is good, but it's not quite as luxurious as some variants that it competes against, like Lexus, like Volvo. Acura is going to be a bit sporty also. And because the price escalates to over $70,000, literally we're in territory for the Germans. And with this peanut engine, it's not really in competition. Sound deadening could be a little bit better. I like that you get the 20 speakers through Klipsch. I prefer Bose a little bit better than the Klipsch sound system. The Google interface, this is the second or maybe third vehicle I've driven of the QX. It's not even working. It's just a blank screen on both. Getting it up onto the interstate, you're seeing the RPM. You're having to hit 3 and 4 to get the vehicle motivated on any perimeter. And that's really the concern when you're talking about something to be refined. And this engine could be a little bit better considering how much engineering they did to get the power it is. And it's very sophisticated because it has an extra pulley in which the compression ratio changes. Now that change can give you MPGs like a diesel 4-cylinder or a naturally aspirated V6 whenever you're mashing on the gas. But it doesn't actually translate to that in the actual drive. On paper it makes sense, and I can see why this would be like, wow, you've really engineered something great, but it isn't as great as the V6. Maneuverability isn't bad. Doesn't feel that long. Stopping, there's no one behind me. It can grab, so it doesn't feel heavy there, but it does feel heavy when you're mashing on the gas. And this is in sport mode, have you. When you put it into eco, it's going to make the pedal feel even more heavy. There's not going to be any altering on the suspension or the steering when you do change the driving modes. One thing that also puzzles me is with the QX80, what they've done with that vehicle is they completely transformed it. I know it's a twin turbo V6. We're going to get to that in a second. But what I'm getting at is it's more quiet. You have the standard air suspension, and it changes the leveling. They didn't do any of these updates. I get it, that's a full refresh. This is a mild refresh, but come on. Throw something that makes me want to go to the 2026. Give me something different from the competition. Stand out of class. Give me different engine options. I'm okay with having 4 trims. I think that's more than enough. You don't need to confuse customers with 30 different trims like you do with a Mercedes-Benz. Even Audi and BMW has cleaned it up where there's not that many trims. Now, circling back to that twin turbo V6, I feel that the V6 engine or any 6-cylinder engine is really great for power, and that's where I'm getting at for the QX80 and even for the QX60, because when you have these 4-cylinder engines, they're great, don't get me wrong, to get the engineering that you're getting out of it, but it doesn't translate into power. I mean, mashing on the gas, I'm still behind the Kia. Look how much effort I'm doing in order to catch up to them, and I was only going 30 to get to 40 miles per hour. It's pretty freaking crazy. As for competition, it does compete against them with the luxury and what you're getting as packages, but it just doesn't quite do it with performance. And even the suspension itself, they should at least give an adaptive air suspension or some kind of self-leveling suspension, something just to make it stand out more, because we're over $70,000. They are trying to put themselves in a category against the Germans, and they're not even really in the same category in some cases as what they go against, considering Acura still has a naturally aspirated V6 and they also have a performance variant. Here, we only have this. At least if they had a Red Sport 400, then I would say, you know what? This makes sense for a bargain deal, but not over $71,000. And that's why they're discounting these vehicles around $10,000 to $11,000, which makes this a bargain deal when it goes against competition because of everything that you're getting. But do you want a VC turbocharged engine? I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here.